Good morning, and thank you for taking time out at a busy time of year. I'm Kaylee Carr, Account Manager at BTC Wholesale, and we would like to warmly welcome you to our update webinar, Simplifying Zoom Rooms with DTEN. We have some exciting panelists for you today. DTEN's Regional Manager, Simon Schellhorn, will be providing an update and roadmap, and their Customer Success Manager, Frank Chao, will be available at the end for Q&A. We also have Zoom's Channel Manager, Ashley Allen, for any questions you might have. Our Sales Manager, Peter Denton, will be running you through BT Wholesale and the DTEN D7, and we have a special guest from the Royal Australasian College of Physicians, Manager, Infrastructure and Operations, Gabriel Sandrussi, who will be sharing RACP's Zoom Rooms journey with you. Please have a quick look at the agenda. We will do our best to get through everything in time to answer any questions at the end. If you do have a question for any of our panel, please go type into the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. Before we get going, we do have a quick poll for you. Video conferencing is now referred to as Zooming, and it's no surprise. Zoom has increased their daily users from 10 million to 3 million in recent times. We will discuss our results at the end, but without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Mr. Peter Denton.
Great, thanks, Kaylee. If we could just pop those slides back up, that would be great. All right. So thanks, Kaylee, and welcome all to what I hope will be an informative session. And although this session is aimed at our resale channel partners, we welcome all resellers and end users alike. And as such, we won't do a deep dive into market or pricing strategies, but instead I'd like to talk about the success of the BTC DTEN relationship and give you an overview of DTEN's flagship model, the D7, and how it's been transforming standard meeting rooms into effective collaboration spaces. So I'd like to start by giving you a brief overview of the BTC and DTEN story. So early on, BTC saw the great potential of Zoom to disrupt the market by providing a more user-friendly and cost-effective collaboration platform that didn't compromise on quality. As Zoom has moved from strength to strength, strategic partnerships with hardware vendors were inevitable. A few of these partnerships were formed early on and survive to this day, with DTEN as a key example. So as BTC was looking to build a portfolio of products that would sit within the Zoom ecosystem, DTEN stood out as a perfect fit for our already growing AV offering. So in 2018, we partnered with DTEN, and subsequently we were the first to bring the D7 to the Australian market. Moving forward to today, Zoom has secured its place as the fastest growing and most user-friendly platform on the market. And I think for the D7, one of the key outcomes of the Zoom DTEN collaboration is that it's also user-friendly. And a product that's easy to use means user adoption will be higher. People will want to use meeting rooms if they know the tech is just going to work. So let's have a look at the D7 and what is it? What can it do? It's an all-in-one Zoom Room appliance. Take it out of the box, hang it on the wall, plug it into power and an Ethernet cable or just sign into Wi-Fi and you're up and running. When you power it on, you'll just run through a simple wizard, which will only take a few minutes to complete. So it's plug and play. In terms of physical installation, it's only 23 kilos, so not much more than a standard LED TV, which is pretty impressive for a capacitive touch display. It comes with a wall mount in the box, or if you want a mobile solution, a heckler cart complements it very nicely. So it's very simple to install. Once setup is complete, you're presented with the same user interface that you'll find on any other Zoom Room controller, which means a consistent experience across all Zoom-enabled meeting spaces. The D7 provides access to all your standard Zoom Room features plus more. Whiteboarding, document annotation, smart tracking, participant management, it's all there, plus all of Zoom security features. Looking at this slide, I think you'll agree that a lot of rooms look like the one on the left. What I love about looking into a D7 room is that there's no clutter. No wires running across the floor and table, no keyboard and mouse, just clean lines. The only thing you might add is a Zoom Rooms controller on the table. So where does the D7 fit into a company's video conferencing landscape? Well, simply put, almost any room, anywhere, and why not? Sure, it's designed for small to medium rooms, but there's no reason why you couldn't put them into larger spaces where you might want to have, say, a stand-up gathering, a quick Monday morning inter-office team meeting. So to reinforce this point, let me show you a quick video which demonstrates just how well the microphone array on these things work.
Hey everyone, Andy from DTEN here. We're in a focus room designed for 1 to 4 people. This is a huddle room designed for 2 to 7 people, about 10 feet away from the D7. This is a conference room designed for 7 to 15 people. I'm currently about 15 feet away. Hope I sound just as good. All right, everyone. We had to go to the biggest room we could find, and we went all the way to China to do it. All right, Tina, can you hear me?
Yes.
How far are you?
5 meters.
Great. Let's go back a little bit further. All right, Tina, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. How far are you?
10 meters.
All right, Tina, let's go back even further. Can you hear me now?
Yes, very clear.
Great. How far are you?
20 meters.
All right, let's try something crazy. Go into that room behind you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. How far are you?
22 meters.
All right, let's try something really crazy here. Close those doors.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Great.
All right, I think that's pretty conclusive that even in challenging rooms, you can be confident that the far end participants can hear you clearly. And this is made possible by the proprietary DSP technology designed and delivered together by Zoom and DTEN, which constantly adapts to the room's acoustic environment and prevents unwanted echo and background noise. So on top of that, we can set the microphone pickup range for different room sizes and toggle the DSP functions via the Zoom UI right there on the board. So giving us the flexibility to adapt the D7 to different room scenarios. So almost any business can utilize a D7, and at the end of the day, it's about providing ready-to-meet rooms. No more setup delays and shorter, more meaningful, more productive meeting experiences. And just to reinforce a point I made earlier, people will use these rooms if they know it's going to be simple. We sometimes forget that for people in the room, the meeting is about the experience, not the technology. The technology should just do its job, not get in the way. So why partner with BTC and DTEN? Well, from my experience, I've seen that DTEN are actively committed to product advancement. They have a strong R&D focus and are a key player in nurturing the growing shift from plain old conferencing to meeting experience solutions. DTEN is seeing real organic growth through strategic recruitment and product line expansion. So it makes sense to invest in a brand that is future facing, that is looking at the bigger picture. And here at BTC, we adopt this ethos as well. We are continually developing a product portfolio that meets the needs of an evolving collaboration landscape. But at the nuts and bolts level, BTC is about providing great outcomes for our resellers and their customers. I've been with BTC for over 20 years now, and I can honestly say that customer service has always been a key priority. We just want to make it easy for you to buy from us. So we're committed to maintaining good stock levels, providing fast order processing and turnaround, and with a dedicated support team, we'll be there to help you keep your project on track. All right, so that's it for me. Thanks for listening, and I'll give you back to Kaylee.
Thanks so much, Peter. Just a quick poll on the D7. And while we're getting that answered, I just wanted to share a photo with you quickly. have a look at all those components. We have a speaker, an iPad, a screen, a microphone, a camera, a keyboard. Craziness. Which leads us to Gabriel from RACP, who is kind enough to share his recent Zoom Rooms experience. Gabriel, take it away.
Thanks, Kaylee. Good morning. So I was very flattered to talk at this presentation about the DTEN. I started in my role here at RACP. We're a medical administration organisation, work in the medical field. We work with physicians, and video conferencing, very important for us, both for the internal staff and for our members. So I started the role in August, and I remember very clearly interviewed in a room such as the one Kaylee just showed. It had on it about a 2-inch thick laptop. There was a projector with a VGA cable, which anyone who knows me knows I hate VGA cables and any other cables. There was a desk phone, and what else was there? There was something else there. I couldn't remember. Too many components for my liking. And in taking the job, I knew one of the first things I wanted to do was give a great user experience for meeting rooms. Anyone who knows anything about meeting rooms, if it's not easy to use, people aren't going to use it. So as we were revamping, we invested heavily in Zoom. Not all our staff had Zoom Pro licenses. So we increased that. We didn't have a number of Zoom rooms. So we sorted out the licensing through our channel partners and through Zoom and got that up and running, but then we had to get the right equipment in the right rooms. So from a user experience, we wanted to simplify the process, but also as a operations manager, I wanted to simplify the support for my team. I didn't want to receive constant alerts on failing components individually. I didn't want to have to negotiate which component has failed in every meeting room. So we came across the DTEN products. I trialed it out initially with one of the 75-inch D7 screens and one of the 55-inch screens. And they were a massive hit instantly. The moment we put it in the room, it's self-intuitive. It was, as it's touchscreen, people just knew exactly how to use it. You could either join the meeting, or if you'd set up the meeting through Outlook, you could just hit join without entering the meeting room ID. Sharing your screen in the room. So again, not a fan of cables. We can share the screen using the proximity sharing, which was great because all you needed was a Zoom client on your PC or an iPad or any other device, and it would project straight onto the screen. So it really simplified our process. Our staff really took it well. The change management was very minimal. I think it was a change that everyone was looking forward to. One of the other things that we wanted to ensure is having the right instructions. So we utilized the digital signage on the rooms to get the instructions up there. So any room that's not in a meeting or is not hosting a meeting will have scrolling instructions on how to use the equipment in the room. Very intuitive. So really increased the uptake in the organization for Zoom, and now getting requests for more D7 products in more rooms. So we're utilizing or making good on other meeting rooms. The other thing we had, why I'm a fan of the D7 product or the D10 product, I've purchased a couple of these. This is just a roaming device. Because it connects to Wi-Fi and it's all in one, all we needed was really a power outlet to plug it into. Connects up to our corporate Wi-Fi, and you can have a Zoom meeting anywhere you go. And that's really it. We're looking forward to increase the DTEN usage. We have some projects with one of our rooms, and it's a boardroom style room, 1 to 15 people, and that size room is getting a 75-inch screen. So yeah, that's about it. Been really good uptake, and I couldn't recommend it anymore as a Zoom product.
Thanks so much, Gabriel. Looking forward to hearing from you later in Q&A.
Thank you.
All right, so far we've learned all about BTC Wholesale, the D7, and how Zoom Rooms experience can be simplified. So next up, we have Simon from DTEN.
Thanks, Kaylee. And yeah, thanks, Gabriel, too. That's a, so refreshing. We always like to hear our key end users, the customer experience and the journey, and yeah, really proud to be a strong part of helping your teams meet better. I'm Simon Schellhorn from DTEN. I look after Australia, New Zealand and Southeast Asia. I also have available to join us on the chat later, or any questions that that might pop up, a customer success manager who helps in ANZ, Frank Chao. So thanks, Frank, for joining us today. You can jump to the next slide, please, Kaylee. So yeah, Peter's pretty much given a really good introduction, and I won't do an extreme deep dive. Apologies for a little bit of doubling up here, but yeah, the key points that Peter hit on include today we've got two really good size options: the medium huddle space in the 55, the larger space in the 75. One of the other aspects that our customers are finding really appealing is they can manage their fleet remotely via the Zoom Rooms portal. That's a very key need and want for many of our customers, and works very reliably. And we've also got a new appliance, a Android-based version of our 55-inch stock arriving in Australia in July. Zoom has a lot of Android-based appliances being encouraged out in the market. So yeah, we've reacted with people. If they don't want Windows-based, they can get Android-based as well, and very, very soon, really close. But if we could jump to the next one, please, Kaylee. So just to show where DTEN fit in the Zoom ecosystem, we've been working with Zoom for several years now, and we're a little bit of a unique category. So we're recommended by Zoom in their all-in-one touch system category. This is a snip from the Zoom website, and they've got about 10 categories of user styles. And yes, that's where we fit in currently. Formerly, we were listed in both the audio and camera section. So yeah, we definitely fit in most room and any meeting category, basically. Next slide, please. So you should be able to see that we're fairly strong adoption with a lot of leading brands across the globe. Basically, anyone who wants to communicate with their teams and across their organisation. This is a bit of a snapshot. It's a little out of date. A lot of those clients are actually significantly more rooms in place with DTEN, but just a bit of a snapshot of the different user groups globally. But if we move to the next slide, always like more to have a focus on what's really happening in our backyard and what's happening here at home. And I really like this example because it just reinforces that whether you're in banking and financial, or your customers are as a supplier, education, manufacturing, non-for-profit, legal, basically that message of anyone who wants to collaborate on Zoom can get a better experience with a DTEN device. And by the way, there is also a really good case study from Zoom on their partnership with National Australia Bank as well, on the zoom.us website. If you search for National Australia Bank, it's a really interesting local and relevant case study. And of course, moving right along, we've also got the change in everyone was pre-pandemic looking at ways of streamlining their rooms and everything. And there was a recent survey of Zoom IT admins, and this won't come as a big shock to anyone who has to manage rooms or try to plan for business continuity over the next year or so. And clearly, video conference for home office and remote worker is now one of the #1 asks. And anything to support their remote workers or home office workers is welcome and needed. So you know, as I said, it won't be a shock, but it's interesting to see the other categories and just how strongly that category is being sought after. But so moving, if we can move to the next slide, please. So we at DTEN, we also already had our personal desktop Zoom device in development before COVID. It's just jumped to the front of the queue. We've always got, you know, several products in development, but clearly the personal, you know, work from home, simple desktop device just absolutely jumped to the absolute front of the queue. So I did leapfrog some of our products in development, and, you know, as it outlines, and it's really ideal for smaller spaces. Again, all the benefits of the simple deployment and usage and setup of our standard DTEN devices. So all it needs is power and a network connection. It doesn't have to be an Ethernet connection for stability. A robust Wi-Fi connection is absolutely fine. Ethernet's, you know, typically recommended, but Wi-Fi works just fine. My DTEN at my home office has only ever worked on Wi-Fi, and even my technical team will be a little disappointed with me admitting, but my updates I do over Wi-Fi. I don't actually run a cable upstairs where my 55-inch is. I just do it over Wi-Fi, and it works. Again, our premium audio, this unit being smaller, has 8 microphones, but it's still good for a decent sized office of up to 5 meters by 5 meters, but definitely a single user, or at most a 2-user device, maybe a small phone booth or a micro huddle space, but definitely not in a 4 to 6 person meeting space. You definitely need at least a 55-inch device. And the great news is that BTC has got stock due to arrive. We're trying to accelerate it, but late August is when we believe there'll be volume shipped stock in Australia, and there'll be bigger volumes coming through. I think most of that stock will probably be secured before it arrives, but we'll work closely with BTC to make sure we can get everything that's requested through as quickly as possible. If we could jump to the next, a little later in the year, we'll be releasing our DTEN Go and Mate combination. And as the slide says here, it says all -1, which is a little bit weird. What that's trying to highlight is our current 55 and 75 and our Me solution are all in one. It just needs power and a network connection. We had a lot of customers telling us that, oh, we've already got some really good legacy panels in some of our spaces, and they're not very old, and we don't want to throw them away and put in a 55 or a 75, but we want the benefits of Zoom, and we really want the benefits of touch and annotation as well. So in order to meet this need, we've got in beta, we've got some of the DTEN Go camera with a 12 microphone array. So that'll give really good audio experience, similar to the video that Peter showed. And also, when paired with our 10-inch wireless controller, will give you touch and annotation in the existing legacy room. Volume ship for this is currently looking like late September, with COVID supply chains being a little bit harder to predict. But yeah, that's our very best benefit estimate for now for the DTEN Go and the DTEN Mate combination. So I think that pretty much covers my bit. So yes, Kaylee, back to you. Or any questions on the DTEN specific part, or any other panelists, I guess, Kaylee?
Cheers. Thanks so much, Simon. Just a reminder that we are getting close to Q&A time. We have about 3 more slides to go. All right, and for anyone on the call who is interested in Zoom, you can go to their website to apply to be a referral partner, and there's further information for you there. We do have an upcoming technical session, and I'm just going to launch the last of our polls to see who might be interested. Please do register your interest via the poll. And last but not least, we have our Try Before You Buy program, where BTC Wholesale will send a D7 or an on 55-inch screen direct to the customer, or first to you if you prefer, along with a table mount. The customer can either hang the D7 on a wall with the included wall mount or place it on the table with the supplied mount. The customer will then have 30 days to decide if the unit is fit for purpose. If that doesn't happen to be the case, we just ask that we receive the unit back in the condition it was sent in. Okay, and we are about at that time now for question and answer session. Let me just have a look. And I might stop sharing and just open it up to the floor. All right, and please do remember to get your questions in. We have our expert team of panelists here ready and waiting. All right, Simon, what are the best use cases coming in the coming months, please?
Oh, the best use cases. Generally, I'm really watching closely our enterprise customers who are making transitions to COVID. And it's interesting, some are saying that their room design and their room layout will remain as they were pre-COVID, yet many are also saying they have to change their whole workplace strategy. So the other interesting use case I'm seeing is people are putting 55s in their executive offices with a plan to move them to their office space when their offices reopen in you know, hopefully 4 or 5 months. So, but yeah, the general user case is still very much the same. It's the home office, the remote office that the Me will be addressing very, very soon. But still our 55s and 75s are moving very, very well, thanks to the BTC and your partners. The other shock for me right now is how strong the uptake was on our 75 panel. Our 75 panel is a challenge to keep up with demand at the moment, which is a good challenge, but sometimes we're getting some lag in supply from our production end, which yeah, makes it a real juggling act for BTC and to help with the partners. Does that answer that roughly, or too much?
Yeah, that does. And sorry, my question was so choppy. All right, Gabriel, what features are your users most impressed by, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, and I'll just unmute, yeah.
Just unmuted there. On the D10, I think I've seen the biggest uptake in whiteboard usage. So this is one of our older rooms, and behind me is a whiteboard. They don't get used much anymore. Everyone is using the Zoom whiteboard feature. You get the stylus with the D10. It's been really good.
Great, and then you're just able to email it out to anyone in the world, which is great. Yeah. Awesome. And how, I guess, did you sell the value internally for D10? Or was it just they walked into the room and were able to use it?
Yeah, I was able to sell the value by buying those first initial units. And I mean, it was even selling the value to myself. I hadn't trialed the product then, but again, operationally, it was very good. We managed the devices through ZDM on the Zoom portal, and there's minimal downtime in the rooms. We can now, through different metrics in Zoom and other other metrics that we're collecting, just see the uptake of our meeting rooms, which is really good. So the value was kind of self-showing in the unit, just in the staff uptake.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Gabriel. And we do have a question on the line. We may need to take this one offline, but I will ask. We do have some D10 reps on the line. When will the 75 have RS-232 control port? Is that something we should take offline and we can come back to Eric on?
I'm not sure myself, but I see you're muted, Frank, but is that something you're familiar with right now, or we should circle back on a specific date if that's on the roadmap?
Yeah, so good question. So appreciate being here. Thanks for the opportunity. Eric, right now, 75 does not have the RS-232 control port, and it's not immediately on the roadmap. However, we do have a customer voice service that we're utilizing internally, so that any feedback that customers are giving us, wanting to look at new features or particular gaps in our feature for our products, we're taking that feedback and we're sharing that with our products and engineering team. So what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of this and then work through Simon to make sure we do the proper follow-up to get you the immediate answer.
Fantastic. Thanks, Frank.
Perfect. And maybe just a quick one for everyone on the line, just to let them know about our try before you buy offers. So the best way to get in touch is to either reach out to myself, Kaylee Carr, and we will be sending information out to everyone post our webinar, just with all these details, and basically reach out to us and we will get a unit to you as soon as possible. It is generally a brand new unit that we're sending out, and then if you like it, you can keep it. And we do send that with a TV stand, sorry, a table stand, and it comes with the included wall mount as well. All right, let's just see if we have any other questions. All right. All right, everyone. Looks like that's the end of questions. We're just a little bit over time. Thank you everyone so much for attending. We will be in touch with further information. Want to very much thank Gabriel from RICP for joining. Thank you so much, Simon and Frank and Ashley and Peter and everyone. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thanks, Kat.
Good day.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Stay safe.